Dragon Ball GT sucks, or at least that's what people say. But here's the thing, it doesn't actually suck. In fact, it's great. Well, great might not be the right word, because GT is complicated. It stumbled, it messed up, it left people confused, but it also gave us some of the best moments in Dragon Ball history. Think about it, the Black Star Dragon Ball saga. It dragged. It didn't feel like the Dragon Ball we were used to. But then, the Baby Saga hit, and suddenly GT became something else. This was one of the best arcs in the franchise. Baby Vegeta wasn't just another villain. He was a parasite that turned the entire cast against Goku. The tension, the possession, the stakes, it was all there. This arc reminded people why they loved Dragon Ball in the first place. And GT villains? Say what you want, but they're iconic. Baby Vegeta, Super 17, Omega Shenron, even side players like Ice, Nova, General Rildo, and Legic stand out more than you think. GT wasn't afraid to experiment, and that gave us a gallery of characters you don't forget. It also leaned back into something Dragon Ball had been missing: adventure. A sense that the universe was bigger than just the next fight. And it wasn't just the setting that grew, the characters did too. Goku and Vegeta especially felt more mature here. And then there's the music. Both versions of GT's soundtrack hit differently, unique, memorable. If you know, you know. But the crown jewel of GT? Super Saiyan 4. The reveal, the design, the power. This was a transformation that didn't look like the others, and that's what made it special. It had weight, it had style, it had an identity that fans still fight for to this day. Dragon Ball Daima even brought it back. That tells you everything about how loved it really is. And then there's the ending. The ending of GT might be the most bittersweet moment in the entire franchise. Pan grows old, the Z Fighters pass on, a new generation takes over, and Goku, a 100-year-old Goku, says goodbye, flying off into the sky. It's a farewell that makes grown men cry, and it should, because it felt like the perfect send-off to Dragon Ball. Of course, GT had problems. The pacing at the start was rough. The art style was inconsistent. Some villains didn't need to exist at all, and even the great ones weren't always executed properly. Super 17 is the best example. On paper, amazing. In execution, a disaster. The Shadow Dragons too, conceptually brilliant, but most of them were jokes. Omega Shenron carried the weight, but the rest left you wondering what could have been. So yeah, GT wasn't perfect, but it was far from horrible.